Thanks, Chad and Ria. When you think Page, Arizona, really only one thing comes to mind: Lake Powell. As the second largest man-made reservoir in the United States, Powell is the recreation jewel in this red rock landscape. Right now, though, hitting the waters of Lake Powell might not be on everyone's mind, what with the sub-freezing temperatures common this time of year. And even though the temperatures are warmer down here, it still isn't what most of us would describe as swimming weather. Never fear, though. There is a lot more to Page than just water.
It's a smaller community, centrally located in the middle of a lot of great attractions. It's a warmer climate area, so we have a lot of outdoor activities associated with warmer climate, and it's nice because we have a lake right nearby too to cool off in.
January and February aren't the months where you really need to cool off generally, but Page actually owes its very existence to Lake Powell. Unlike most cities, Page was actually created in 1957 merely as housing for workers building the Glen Canyon Dam. People from all over the country moved here, and it was actually so diverse that for a time it held the record for the most churches of different denominations on one street: 12. Most of those churches still stand today, and Page itself is now the gateway to the Colorado River and recreation of all types. Now, if you're looking to avoid the cold water and instead delve into the mystery of this land, it's easy, especially if you want to find some solitude. Much of this area is tribal land, and so it is still undeveloped, and access is only open to a few tour companies. So, you are sure to see things that few others ever will.
One of the best things to do is to visit some of these off the beaten path places like the slot canyons that you don't see but you hear about. Of course, we have a great adventure where we take people out to the slot canyon and experience it in a different way, where we visit it in our Hummers, where you may see it on photos and whatnot throughout the world, but experiencing it firsthand is definitely the way to do it here.
Slot Canyon Hummer Adventures is one tour company with exclusive access to some of Page's most untouched secrets. By keeping groups to no more than 4 people at a time, they're able to create an experience similar to what it would have been like wandering these deserts 1,000 years ago. Except you don't have to walk back, of course.
You need to come down here because as you can see from these shots, Slot Canyon is a really unique experience.
Check this out. You've got the shaft of light right here. It hits this one spot. You can see the dust through it, you know.
You have now.
You know? I mean, just look at that.
There is a lot to see here in Page that makes visitors appreciate the power of nature. One area that everyone has access to is right off of Highway 89, just on the south side of town. After a brief 15-minute hike, you are treated to one of the most iconic images of the entire Southwest: Horseshoe Bend and the mighty Colorado.
It was nice. It was very high. It's like a very high altitude. So if you look down, it's like kind of creepy. And you stand like on the edge, and we were a little bit afraid to fall down, but we stood back a little bit. So
yeah, it was pretty. You can see the different things in the water. Like in Belgium, if you look at the sea, you can't see anything.
No, it's
the water is so dirty.
Yeah.
Viewing and visiting Horseshoe Bend, the scenic backdrops of Lake Powell, just seeing at sunset.
Some of those views can only be captured from 700 feet above the ground. Tower Butte is a well-known component of the Page skyline that captures the imagination. Few explorers ever reach the top because of the difficult climb, but now the Navajo Parks and Recreation Department offers helicopter trips to the plateau of Tower Butte, where you can sit and ponder for up to a half hour, gazing across the world at your feet. If you're traveling to Page, pretty much Highway 89 is your corridor. But remember, due to the landslide south of town, 89 is closed for the next year in that section. So if you're coming from the Flagstaff or Phoenix areas, you're going to want to keep that in mind. You might be on a sandy path, overlooking the majesty of the Colorado, soaring through the air, or just waiting for the water to warm up. It doesn't really matter. You can find adventure of all types here in Page, and this is the perfect time of year to do it.
Definitely come and visit Page, Lake Powell area. We have a ton more things to do that I haven't even come close to mentioning. You could spend all kinds of great time entertaining yourself, viewing the beautiful attractions, just having a fun time.
From Page, Arizona, I'm Steven Heumann for At Your Leisure.